Hi, and welcome back to Brave Conversations. I'm Cynthia, founder of the Brave Zone, and today we have Tracy Marland, who is a fellow host of BWI Swindon, Business Women in Swindon, and also she's the founder of Social Butterfly Digital. And basically, she takes the fuss out of social media marketing. Welcome to the show, Tracy.
Hi Cynthia, thanks for having me.
Well, thank you. Thank you for dealing with all the stuff we don't want to deal with. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got into what you did? And today I want to talk to you more about social media tips and
Yeah,
expertise from you, because I think a lot of people have questions about that.
yeah, they do. My previous background is in the corporate world, 20 years in sales and advertising for a brand that you might know or recognize, radio brands like Heart Radio and Classic FM, Capital. So I worked for a long time, and the radio brand morphed into this digital world. Things exploded. Suddenly there was a website, and then there was social media, and then there was online sales and podcasts and more. So I began to work with customers on the digital side and digital platforms. I was lucky enough to take redundancy a couple of years ago now, 18 months ago. And I thought, I'm going to be brave and take the step, do what lots of people have told me to do for a while, and set up on my own. Which I did 18 months ago. And since then, I've been helping. For me, it was hard in the corporate world. I had to work to target. So I established great relationships with customers, but I had a lot of them, and I worked ultimately to, the corporate goal. So sometimes I had to step away from the customers, whereas now I get to hold their hands and see it right through, and continue their journey. And for me, it's, sometimes social media morphs into other things, but definitely for me it's a big focus. There's a big fear around social media, and I hear a lot people say, I don't want to spend too long on it, and I get sucked into it, and I don't know what I'm saying. And some people are quite fearful of how they come across on social media, so it can be a lot of negativity around it. And like you say, I want to explode that and get rid of that and help people find their voice, find their message, find their audience, and get control, really, and grow their business for it.
Yeah. What's the fear? What's the fear around social media, do you think?
I think for me, I hear a lot, I don't know if I'm doing it right. It's very grey. It's a grey area. There's lots of change. You've had reels recently launched. You have stories come up. People have hashtags, and now we've got TikTok, and it's a rapidly transforming platforms world. And I think the fear is that people think, am I doing the right thing? There's no clear guide. There's no, I see it, I've done it, this is what I'm doing. It is very individual. So people are, I think, quite anxious around doing the right thing and what results should be expected.
Is there a right thing? Or what do you think is the right thing?
The right thing is that you have a goal and you achieve the goal that you've set for you and your business. And that is the right thing. So a lot of people will come to me and say, I don't, this is what I've been doing. And I'm like, great, how is that working for you? Let's take a look at your insights, which straight away they're like, what? I can measure social media. So I'm like, let's look at who's currently following you. Are they the right people? And touch on that is you need to know who you want to get to. But actually the right thing is, if you've set a goal, and if your goal was, I want people to go to my website, if the analysis says you're doing that, then great, it's working for you. That is the right thing. If you want to have tens of thousands of followers and you don't care who they are, great. If that's achieved, so yes, there is a right thing, but you need to have an understanding and a goal and a plan. And again, that's the bit that I feel that I think business owners open an account and think, right, I'm on social media, and then it's like, what am I gonna, what do I say?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the goal always put people through your website?
No, the goal really changes depending on the business need, and the goal can change monthly or per post. So the goal that I explore and talk around, I sort of get people thinking, what action do you want people to take from this? are you trying to start a community? You know, if you have a page or a group, are you trying to get people to talk and create a forum there? Is it that you want people to sign up to a workshop? Do you want people to like and love this? Do you want to go viral? So no, there's many different goals that you can achieve through social media. Sign up to newsletters. It could be to watch a live, or so, yeah, lots of different goals really, and they change all the time.
So I guess so when people say social media doesn't work, it could also be because the goal is not clear, right? So what do they have to prepare before they get into social media marketing? Because sometimes what we see is people saying, oh, my friend said I should have a Facebook presence. And then they open a Facebook presence, say, oh, I'm so tired and it doesn't work. But maybe they don't have a goal. Maybe they're not prepped enough. Maybe they, what are some of the prep
And
work that you think? Yeah.
yeah, and it's not, and it is, the goal is the start. I guess the goal is the conversation where I almost come in at, but actually prior to that, the understanding of knowing what your key messages are and who your target audience is. And I know that's obviously something that you know, that's really part of the journey you take your clients on. And I kind of pick up from there. It is, if they aren't clear on who they want to talk to and what they, you know, what they want them to do and how they help them, then actually it's really difficult then to talk about what you do. It's think of it, social media is a networking platform. So when you go to a BWI meetup, you know, you're very clear on, this is me, this is my business, and this is who I do it for. And that is what you put out on social media. So like, you know, people say to me, I've been on Facebook, didn't get anything from it. Yet they may be a very corporate B2B that actually their message would suit much better on a different platform. So yeah, so it is, yeah, it's that understanding.
And I always try when I work with people on their who, it helps to not just talk about demographics, but also psychographics and everything. When you translate someone's avatar, let's say, into a social media speak, right? How
Yeah.
much how much detail do you need, and what can you search on Facebook to target people? I
Right.
mean, some people just give you an age, a gender, maybe a profession. What how specific can you get?
Very. I mean, you think about the information now that we give up to social media platforms, you know, just simply opening our personal accounts and putting in our interests, if we're married, if we have children, you know, like our date of birth, where we live, the pages we follow, all of that information is sellable. So Facebook have that information. So in terms of an advertising tool, social media is incredibly niche and can be incredibly niche. So really, when I sort of say, okay, who's your target audience, they, you know, clients, like you say, have a general age band. So that could be 25 to 65, living
Oh,
within
perfect.
and it's like, hey, that, you know, and I'm sure, you know, when you, like you say, when you do the target customer, it's more than that nowadays. You know, we're busy people. We dip in and out of social media for a couple of hours a day. Since lockdown, actually our habits have changed. So whereas it used to be a clear peak before and after work, now we are in and out, in and out, in and out. And we scroll, we flick, we scroll. And you, to really resonate and capture someone, you need to connect. And, you know, you need to understand key factors about someone to be able to connect with them. So, you know, what are their pain points? What's going on in their life? It's not just like you say, an age demographic, as you know, is what are they thinking and feeling right now? What's affecting them? And then if you're sharing content that helps them with their lives, they're going to see you as value. They're going to start following you. They're going to start engaging. They're going to start telling their like-minded, you know, connections that actually follow this business or follow this person because they talk of value, and they might need you. And that's how you grow your social media following. It's not clients often think it's I'm going to talk all about me, all about my business, what I do, what I offer, my products, which, yes, there's a place, but there's a balance. There's something called content pillars or content themes. And those are really your key messages. So yes, what you achieve for someone, what your service is. It's also, you know, what you solve, but ultimately it's how you can help your customers. So sharing content that are tips or you know, advice, having a live with an expert session, little things like that. That is what engages people. If you think about your social media habits, what do you stop and watch? And that's really that understanding, that stop the scroll. How are we going to stop your target audience's scroll? And that's something else that, that I help customers with to really
Yeah.
have that.
And I think it's the fear of, oh, if I niche too much, I'll miss out. It's like the FOMO, isn't it? But I
Really.
think, well, why my perception is like marketing is a phased process,
Mhm.
so let's say it is 25 to 65-year-olds, that's a bit much, but let's say it's 25 to 35s, and then when we're successful with that, we can go to the older ones, and then so it's a one people, I feel that they need to understand that you're going to have your business hopefully for a long time. It's not like we got to hit the market running everyone by 2021. So I always say, like, well, how much time have you got delivering your service anyway? I mean, well, you've got 3 kids, you've got a husband, and you really can take 50 clients a week? No, I don't think so. I think you're doing, like, if you can get 5 clients that you serve a week. So do you really need 60 million people in the UK to look at that ad?
Exactly. And there's so much competition out there right now, no matter what industry you're in, unless, there may be the really uniques, but there is competition. And we as individuals and our consumer habits have become completely changed. And the fact that, we used to walk into a shop on the high street and we would buy what was in the shop. Whereas now we research, we're on social media looking for inspiration and ideas and what our friends are doing and what people have said. And actually, if something connects right, there's a stat about, if a brand resonates with you and connects with you and it's relevant, you will follow them and you will buy into them. So very much it's like, go after that 25 to 35. You think of the different people in that band, actually, who do you want to work with? We're, especially as individuals that set up business, we make a decision that we set up our own business because we want to help a certain type of person. We want to work with a certain type of person. So I always say, start with the people you'd love to do business with. Let's talk about them.
Yeah.
And others might fall in along the way. But like you say, the phased approach, is a really good way of looking at it.
That's true. Who do you want to work with is interesting as well. Yeah, and most likely you'll feel not just, you'll have income and everything, but you'll also feel happier, right? And then it's who you say no to that sometimes helps you carve your niche instead of saying yes to everyone, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, completely. And you can tailor, as beauty of social, you can tailor the platform you're on to get the audience you want. You can tailor your message, the tone that you use, again, to get the audience you want, to really kind of invite the people that you want to reach, which is really unique because other platforms, don't necessarily offer that. But yeah, that targeting and that nicheness is really unique to social media, and that's it. So it's a great tool to have in your toolbox and getting your message out there.
Yeah. What about people who are kind of introverts or very like professional, or I know that they're on Facebook and their market is Facebook, but they're not like, "Hi, good morning.
Yeah.
How's your day? And let's build a community." Is that okay to be like that, or there's also a perception? I mean, some of my clients are quite serious people. Their target market's on Facebook, but they can't imagine themselves doing all that group stuff. What advice can you give for them?
And also that oh god, I get you're not going to make me pick pictures up of my glass of wine or my family, are you?
Good morning, happy sunshine.
Exactly.
Tell me you're feeling for the day.
And again, I think it's your brand, it's their business, and it's how if it's not true to them, then it's going to come across as really awkward, and it's not gonna work. So yes, I have some clients that will not do a video or what don't want to do a live, but to get across your brand message, you can do that with photography. So you might have some photos on there of you. It can be done through blog writing. So actually, you have a blog piece, it's very personal, written by you, but we can take excerpts of that and put that on social media and get the message across. It's more about if you don't want to be out there and shout and wave, then you don't need to. There's other ways to connect with people in sharing the information you want to share until you are ready. It doesn't have to be a go live and do a daily video, with things such like Reels now and Instagram stories. And there's little ways you can be creative. The stories you can, the post lasts 24 hours. You can do a little shot of you. I have a client who is into wellness, and will go out walking. I said, great, you don't need to do a video, I'm out walking today, and do tips. Just take a lovely shot of the outdoors, hashtag, work life balance, or just breathe, just little key messages that you put across and put those things up. So yeah, it's it doesn't have to be uncomfortable. And I think, do you know what, if you have a plan, it takes away some of that fear anyway. I think a lot of the fear comes from thinking, I don't know what I'm doing or saying.
Yeah.
What am I doing again? And kind of once you've got a plan, I've had clients that have actually sent me videos, go, look what I've done. And one of my clients now is literally videoing every day. And so, it will come, and people feel more natural. If you don't want to do it, don't, but having a plan just gives you some confidence anyway.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And
Mm.
is it necessary to spend money on an ads these days, or can you get your goal by engagement? Because I know certain things have changed.
Yeah, so there's techie speak, organic engagement,
Right,
organic
there you
growth,
go.
which is non-paid for. um
Organic is what I have in my fridge.
yeah.
But Tracy knows better, so
Oh, but so techie speak, you've got the unpaid and the paid. There's loads of, there is again these sort of black magic myths that go around saying, no, if you pay for Facebook ads, you're going to get seen more. And there's no right or wrong way at the moment. Social media is a really busy marketplace, especially with the pandemic. More and more people have more time on their hands, and social media usage has gone from a couple of hours to 3+ hours a day. So people are consuming social media much more. So to get your message to cut through, it is really important to resonate. But yes, sometimes there's a limit, or your organic growth. So your when you put messages out and content out and people just follow you and share it with their friends, that relies on others acting for you, really. Whereas when you pay for advertising, obviously you can be more targeted, and you can invite people who are unaware of your brand to like it. So I believe there is a place for both. And again, it depends on your goal and what you want to do. But yes, there's a couple of my clients that continuously run a ad, and Facebook is, you're talking £2 a day. Can be a good budget for a small business to invest in an ad that can run, that raises awareness of your website and can generate click-through, or you can invite people to like your Facebook page for tips, advice. If you're into this, come and follow me. And sometimes just dipping in and out of that gives you a boost of new, fresh eyes coming in, liking your page, and can kickstart, things again, really. So there is a place for both, just depending on, again, what you're trying to achieve and where you're at with your business.
yeah. So it's important to have a goal. It's important to know who you are. You can only amplify their message. If the message is crap, it's crap, right? And it's important to be clear on who you're trying to talk to. And I love the whole tech speak, because that's, yeah, I mean, you tech speak in a human way. That's what I like about Tracy. That's what I like about Tracy. She talks to you like you're human, but she has a whole, head of knowledge behind her. So I think that's good. And I know you do some really good work for the people in our community. That's really, really good. Any final thoughts about social media? Any
No,
final message?
I think, don't be afraid of it. And it's, and I practice what I preach, in the fact that I'm on, I use it. But you know what? I do set my timer and I turn it off and I put it away. So you can control how much you are on social media. So don't be afraid of it. It's a really great tool. Some of my businesses have, grown 100 followers a month. Others grow a couple of hundred followers a month. There's always success. I haven't worked with people that haven't had a form of success in social media. And I think currently, in the climate we're in and where we're at, it's a really important environment that has brought a lot of support to people. And being a part of that environment right now, I think, is really key. And whatever your target customer, I would say that they are using a platform, a social media app, in some way. So it's important to have a presence on there. And if you do anything, just having that understanding of your key messages, who you're trying to target, what you want to tell them and what you want them to do, are key. Just drop those down, have them somewhere. And when you post something, think, does this benefit? Is this interesting to my target audience? Are they going to take action from it? So are they going to like it, share it? What do I want them to feel and do after they've read this? And just keep that in mind.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you very much, Tracy.
Thank you so much for your time.
And I love, and I'm letting all the pings and beeps and everything like that go off, because this is digital brave conversation, and you just have to know how busy Tracy is. If you want her time, you'll do what? You'll do like a diagnosis or something like that.
Yeah, we have a free discovery call.
Yeah,
everyone does. So let's see if we want to work, if I can help, if you like me and I like you. So yeah, free discovery call. We have a bit of a chat. Well, there's lots of people that do what I do, but I'm me. So yeah, have a chat with me and see where you're at. And then yes, I do for BWI Group. I've worked with quite a few small business owners on a social session, which is a 2-hour session for £80, where I just answer all of your questions. I look at where you're at, give you a bit of a diagnosis, give some tips and advice, and really it's a power session where we can go through your questions. But yeah, lots of things, workshops, one-to-ones. I produce content and run pages. So get in touch if you think I can be of help.
Great. Social Butterfly Digital. Okay, thank you very much. And please join her meetup as well at BWI, or Businesswomen in Swindon. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Tracy, and all the best for your business. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.